To Kill a Monkey is that Nollywood film you all should watch on Netflix. Now, the storyline is so relatable. It tells you not to judge a book by its cover. Before judging that ashawo you're seeing, before judging that yahum yahum you're seeing, please make sure that you get to find out what exactly pushed you. This movie is sold out not because of the fancy gadgets or because of the characters in the film. Yes, the delivery was amazing. It's because the story is relatable. It shows you how difficult it is for you to get a job. Your parents, they spend all the money, they sell all the properties to sell to the best of schools. You do so well, you acquire that degree, honey, only to come back home looking at them eyeball to eyeball with absolutely nothing to show for it. No job. Now, the job that you managed to get for yourself is not even related to the degree that you had in the university, honey. And should we talk about the salary, honey? It's a meager salary that can barely put food on your table, let alone take care of yourself. Now, it shows you what men have to go through, the battles they have to fight, the struggles they have to go through, the pain, the challenges, the daily challenges, just to struggle to put food on the table. It equally shows you how ungrateful most women are. And permit me say that men, see, do you, not do past yourself. Are you understanding? Women easily forget. It shows you how unappreciative and how undeserving most women are. And most importantly, it equally shows you that, please, side chicks are not the problem. Most of the time, the reasons why most married men go outside looking for side chick is because they are being pushed by their wives. Now, this particular scenario or this lesson is being portrayed by one of the characters in the film, Stella Damasus, who plays the role of Nosa. Now, Nosa is the wife of Ife, right? Before we talk about Ife, let's talk about Nosa. Nosa is the wife of Ife. Nosa's parent, her mom especially, is not pleased with the fact that Ife is a poor man or the daughter married a poor man. Now, she was hoping for a better in-law, right? Now, throughout the first, sorry, it's an eight episode, one season film. Let's start from there, right? Very long, but it's worth the wait and it's going to be worth your data. There's a lot of lessons to be learned. Now, if you were to watch the first 3 episodes, you will find the struggles of Ife. Just to put food on the table was a problem. You will see the struggle Nosa had to go through while pregnant and after giving birth. Now, she gave birth through a CS, cesarean operation. You see, but she still had to go to work as a domestic staff. She was a chef, she was a cook, but she could not work because of the pressure and because of her ill health, you see, so that she was fired, right? Now, yes, later on, because of the pressure and everything, Ife decided to join the other side. And at that moment, Nosa is not complaining, yeah? She's happy. Now, Ife did that because he wanted to give not just the wife, but their children. And of course, the mother-in-law a better life and fed the family a better life. But what happens when things go south? Before things went south, Nosa's life changed. They were now living in a luxurious house. She had the best of cars, the best of wigs. She could afford millions of naira for a bag. She started competing with her previous boss. You see, she was enjoying the lifestyle, the flashy birthday parties. They were buying here, they were buying, just all the luxurious stuff that life can offer you. But the moment things went south, the moment the business, if he started facing a lot of problems in his business, who was the first to blame him? The wife. Oh, this is not the life we wanted. We're better off being poor. Who? Who? You were crying every day. You could barely eat. No, even to pay the hospital bill was a problem. The mother-in-law, your mother, was mocking your husband every day, reminding him of how wretched he is. And then your stepdaughter joins you in that poverty state. You guys, she was sleeping on the floor. You need to take a look at the apartment where they're coming from. You had to work as a maid, despite the fact that you just gave birth. Do you know what it means for a pregnant woman, first off, pregnant for triplets, to actually be a domestic staff? Is that what you call happiness in poverty? You see how women get to gaslight you. You see how women forget the sacrifices that you make. You see how women blame you for everything, right? And then at the end of the day, if the husband gets unfortunate, he gets caught by the police, he's been sentenced, he's been, taken to prison. And guess who decided to take all the properties in exchange for a divorce, for a peaceful divorce? No, sir. Now, you blame your husband, you condemn the act, you condemn the illegal activities he did just to make that money. But you are the first to still claim that money, that illegal money. So this film will teach you a whole lot. This review is a spoiler review. So, hey, if you're yet to watch the film, maybe you might not want to continue. But if you're someone who wants to get all the tips, you understand, before going to, then you're very much welcome. And please endeavor to subscribe to our YouTube channel while you're at it. Please do like and leave your thoughts in the comment section. Okay, now, here is the review. I first of all love the casting. Beautiful. It's one thing to have an amazing storyline, and it's another thing to find those actors that are going to bring that character to life. They'll be able to embody, they'll be able to, you understand, to accept that role and bring it to life. So beautiful. Your choice of actors, amazing. You're going to find William Benson, who played the role. He played Efe. There is Oboz, Bushi Franklin, amazing. There is Sparkles, Roseman. The Sunshine Roseman, she did a great job. Not Living Out Starlight Damascus as oh my goodness, as Nosa. And then there's Bimbo Akintola as Inspector. Oh, they're just beautiful cast and crew. Amazing what you did there. If you look at the cinematography, if you want to look at the technical aspect of this film, at some point, I will not lie to you guys, I felt like this was not Nigeria. This was not a Nollywood film. You know, they gave me Hollywood. The action there, baby, the location. Now, there's one thing about Nigerian films. When you watch a Nigerian film, you can be able to identify that this right here is a Nigerian film, from the accent to the names, honey. And then, of course, the location. Nigerian actors have taken it upon themselves to portray Nigeria, to sell not just the Nigerian culture, right? But Nigeria as a country to the rest of the world. They make sure they portray how beautiful the country is. Now, there's a lot of tourism. You want to visit Lagos, you want to visit Nigeria because of the venues and the locations you've seen in their films, and you get it. So that was amazing. I love the choice of location. They show you affluence. Many people think that Africa is a poor continent or Nigeria is more of poverty. No, but this film, To Kill a Monkey, shows that there are indeed rich people in Nigeria. Are you getting? So amazing, well executed. As now, when it comes to, my only problem was the makeup at some point. Now, when you look at Chidimukeme, who played the role as teacher, right, who is the drug lord, you understand, the Baba, the Shibam, as we call it. You could really tell that the baldness was not proper, because there's a discoloration at some point. You can see that a wig was being worn. You say, I think they didn't do a proper job there. They had one or two mistakes as far as the makeup is concerned, the aesthetics is concerned, you see. Yes, and for me, I feel like they overdragged the whole thing. You see, we can talk about the tension in the film, the dramatic tension. It was exaggerated. At some point, you just had to, we've understood that this young man is suffering. But you didn't, yeah, granted, maybe that's the reason why it took us right up to 8 episodes, right? But at some point, it becomes boring. It's no longer realistic. We're like, can you just cut to the chase? What's next? Okay, fine, we've seen he's suffered, he's done this. What is next? So that he dragged it too much. Chidimukeme, the makeup artist, would have done better. However, it's an amazing film. Like I said, the delivery, beautiful. And then I got to realize in this film that though Nigerian has the best pidgin English in West Africa, in Nigeria, pidgin differs. People from Benin, their pidgin, their accent is different from those in Lagos. Those who live in, I think, Warri, their Warri pidgin is very from Akwa Ibom. You understand? So it's very beautiful, very entertaining, that's what I was talking about, the Nigerianness. And then I equally realized that Benin girls, when it comes to makeup, yeah, they are more dramatic. The way they wear the wigs and everything is crazy, it's hilarious, right? Beautiful. Now, the storyline is this. Efe, who is the main character, right? His name is William Benson, but in the film he played the role as Efe. Now, Efe is a father. Efe is a soon-to-be father. It's a son-in-law and a husband, and then a son, of course. Now, if he's married to a young lady whose name is Nosa, who does not have money, she is coming from a poor home. Now, unfortunately for Nosa, for Efe, the mother-in-law does not like him because he's poor. So he has to do everything possible to make sure that he puts food on the table, you see. But now, this young man believed that the legit way is the best way. I don't need to soil my hand in blood. I don't need to do bad things in order to be able to put food on my table. I want to go the legit route. If he worked so hard, he believed that someday he's going to be a cyber security analyst. That's what he was working towards, you see. But, you know, before you get to that journey, honey, you have to take baby steps, right? So to gather money, he took a job as a waiter in a bar slash a restaurant. But because of the needs, the never-ending needs, he has to pay the bills. You know what it means to run a home as a man, right? His salary was not enough to be able to do all of that. So if he would see himself constantly asking for overdraft, and at some point overdraft got piled up. Now, still in that stress, if he loses a parent, I think the mother. Now, the uncles come from the village with a long, exaggerated list. Cows, you know how it can be. They call it traditional rights. All of these items need to be provided before the mother can be buried. If he said, no, if you cannot, it's fine, I'm going to bury my mother myself. I cannot kill myself. I can barely feed, right? So where do you expect me to get the money from? Now, while if he's still struggling to sort himself out with the uncles and everything, he gets a phone call. Guess what? The wife is in the hospital. The pregnant wife is in the hospital. She gives birth to triplets. That's another problem. If it's one thing to give birth to one child, 2, 3, that's another ballgame altogether. If he rushes to the hospital, now he's being required to pay the hospital bills and everything. He doesn't have the money, right? Now, if he goes back to his place of work, talks to the manager, and the manager says, bro, you have accumulated loans. I cannot give another. However, there is a way for me to cancel all that debt and equally give you money from my pocket. Now, you see, if he's struggling. Now, the story here is, the lesson here is, people do not love to do the things that they're doing. Some people do enjoy it. Hey, I'm not canceling the fact, but most times you're being pushed to the wall where you cannot take it anymore, where you've given up all hope. You know, most times you've prayed to God for so much, like, God, I need this, and I trust that you can do it. And then God pushes you, and you're like, you're just human. At some point, you're going to crash. So if he crashed at that point, he didn't want to sleep with the manager, but when he realized that he has a wife in the hospital whose bills need to be paid before she can be, checked out, he had to do it. Now, if he sleeps with the manager, collects the money, and gets unfortunate again. Now, the keke that he boarded, he did not know that they were armed robbers in it. They steal the money from him. Boom, they kick him out. What explanations does he have to give to the hospital? Again, it shows you another stress. This young man is crying. This young man is, what do? I refuse to go to the other side. I am still going to be legit. Fortunately for him, he gets to the hospital. The hospital staff agrees to discharge the wife on credit. He was fortunate. Now he goes back, he's still hustling. The insult from his workplace, and then he realizes that even after sleeping with the manager, his debt was never cancelled. Now, in that distress, in that tears, in that torment, if he goes home, only for him to hear a knock at the door, when he opens the door, who walks in? His daughter. His daughter complains of being molested by the brother, and she was chased out of the house. That's another problem for him. It's a small room. How do they feed? How will he take care of this big family he's having, right? Now, if he goes back to work, trying to see how he can get another loan, and that is when he meets now his friend Obos. By Obos, we're talking about Bullshit Franklin. Now, Bullshit Franklin is, you did something for me years ago I can never forget. If I'm still alive, if I'm the Obos that I am today, it's thanks to you. I need to repay you back. Brotherly! And that is how we all started. He invites if he come to my house, brother, why are you living like this? If he visits the house with the wife, and the wife is already fast, bro, she's gone. Who know like better thing? She's so astonished, like, wow, so all of this can be attainable. Are there people like me living this comfortably? You see, so the wife, Idea, takes her to her room, rather, and show women now want to flaunt our wealth and all. And then if he now sits in the living room with your boss, and he asks Brotherly, show me the way. And Brotherly says, are you sure? Now, Brotherly takes Ife to his place of work and says, can I trust you? He introduces everything, his line of business, and tells Ife, what do you want? Is it a yes or a no? Ife declines. It's equally showing that if he's trying, he's fighting that demon, he's fighting that. There's just so much a human being can take. I'm telling you. He says, I refuse to go to the other side. If he goes back home, refuses to tell the wife the outcome of their meeting, right? Now he's still trying to struggle. Mind you, if his longest time dream was to become a cybersecurity analyst, but while waiting for that opportunity, he decided to become a waiter, a waiter in a restaurant. Just to keep bottle and soul together. Remember, he's a family man, right? So the opportunity for him to pitch that idea of his finally came. Now, while waiting for that phone call, if he is seen in a mommy put in a local joint, right? He's rested. You cannot cheat nature. Sleep catches up with him. He sleeps, and upon waking up, well, he didn't notice that something was amiss, like something was missing, right? So he finally gets to that company, and voila, that opportunity has been presented. And When he opens his bag, when he zips his bag, instead of him to find a laptop, he finds a book. He was robbed. Like I said, we are human beings. He get away with no see that patience. He get away with like, nah, I give up. It was at that moment that if I said, you know what, I'm tired. I give up. This legit life is not for me. Father, you've pushed me away. Even if not Joseph, if I don't give a breakthrough, you see. And that is when Ife decided to join the other side. At the beginning, the wife was not in accordance, like, no, let's be patient, Lord. But like I said, as a man in an African society where you're meant to be the breadwinner of the family, seeing your wife go through that much struggle, and then the constant insult from not just your mother-in-law, but from your co-workers, your colleagues, and your peers, right? Nah, there's that level. So if he now went and met Obos, and that is how he was introduced properly to the business. Now the innovations, the ideas that he had was put into the business, and there was that flourishing. You see, they started making so much money. Years later on, if he's living that bougie lifestyle, the wife is comfortable, you know, the mother-in-law, all of a sudden, if it becomes his favorite or becomes a favorite, now she moves in with them. Yes, honey. Now they are going shopping. She's riding the best of cars. She goes to the market with so much money, bodyguard by her side as a driver. They're living large. Life is good. And then a threat now comes in, and that is when Teji Mukeme, who played the role of teacher, walks into the film. Now, he's threatened by this new, you know, this Gen Z, like, you guys are taking all the market, you're making all the money, but you forget one thing. Before you, there was me. So you deserve to pay your taxes. And that is when the problem started. There's this kidnapping of children, lives are being threatened, you know, and all of a sudden, that is when Nosa realized that, oh, my husband, we were better off being poor than being rich. Instead for you to join heads with your husband or join hands with your husband to look for a solution, this problem, you decide to go against your husband. Now there's that gaslighting, constantly blaming the man, accusing the man, you know, say, oh, we are no longer safe with us. You're not man enough. You cannot protect us. You cannot, right? Now, if it tells the brother or boss that, brotherly, this is not proper. Let us settle this man. We have so much money. I am ready to give 70% of my own share. You just bring the rest and everything is settled. Obos refused. Now, this side, you get to see greed. And you kind of get to see that sometimes the problem that we're experiencing right now, the challenges, it could have been avoided if we had yielded to advice. It's when you want to show that, no, you're not a coward. I'm better off. I can throw I'm not going to give anybody. I'm not going to. It costs you a bigger problem at the end of the day. If Obos had listened to Ife and, you know, brought his own 10%, that problem with teacher would have been avoided and he wouldn't have died at the end of the film. So there are lessons to be learned. You have to value. Counseling is good. You are not always right. And when you look at Obos's character in the film, you get to see the true nature of most of our employers today. Because they employ you, they feel like you're nothing without them. They don't listen to counseling. They undermine you. They insult you at every given opportunity. There's just so much an employee can take as well. You see, it shows you the abuse that a lot of employees go through in the hands of their employers. Well, what can you do? You just take the job because you need the money. Now, if it needs you continue working with the boss, because mind you, there's equally threat. If you live brotherly, you reveal our secret, you betray me, you're going to get killed. What do you do? Now, if he has to struggle, how do I do it? How do I protect my family and still be in a good space with a boss? That is conflict of interest. Now, the wife who is made to be the backbone is instead the one causing him much pain. And that is how if he finds himself in the arms of another woman. And that is how Miss Sparkles comes in, and by the way, she is sunshine woman, voila. And little did he know that she was a setup, but she was being sent by Chidi Mukeme, who is a teacher in the film. Now, it's a very interesting film. Now, when you look at Obos's character, a lot of people say, oh, they were blaming Ife a whole lot. They said Ife betrayed, you know, Obos. Ife shouldn't have done that. But let's be very honest. Who betrayed who first? Obos betrayed Ife first. You cannot call me brotherly and you go behind my back sleeping with my daughter. You don't just sleep with my daughter. You sleep with her to the point where you actually impregnated her. That is not John. If you weren't married, I would have understood. You get? But you were married. We know your wife. Your wife knows me. And then you go over, and we know the nature of your job, we know how risky it is. And we equally know in that condition, put me for this position, me and you know for the work. And then you go behind my back and you let me not say violate because she consented to it, but you go behind my back to not just have an affair with my daughter, but to get her pregnant. So I would say that Obos betrayed Ife first. No brother does that to another brother. I think there's a bro code, isn't it, right? Voila. Now, it equally shows you the arrogance of Obos. You see, how do I mean? Now, Obos is one person who does not value women. That's another lesson. There are a lot of men like that, very arrogant because they have the money. They believe that they can get any woman they want and they can abuse you and you're expected to stay because they give you money. Now, when you see his interactions with other women, we never saw the disrespect with his wife, but we saw with the way he was treating all the mistresses and the side chicks he was meeting, the abuse, the insult, reminding him of how poor and how wretched they are. You see, so that is why he took offense when he met Sunshine, where he met Miss Sparkles, and he couldn't get her because of his approach. Now, he felt that every woman is as cheap, every woman is just about money. But Sparkles was there are women out there who would maintain their integrity. Not every woman out there is hungry. And that was how, if he could win the heart of Miss Sparkles. Now, it shows you that Ife, to be honest, is the victim in this film, and not the antagonist. Ife is not the devil this movie is printing him out to be. Ife is a good man. One or two lapses, of course, is human. One or two flaws. But he is the victim. And that is why, if you were to ask me, I would say this film deserves a season 2. A season 2 where if it comes back, it's like King of Boys, comes back and punishes the wife, Miss Sparkles, and not leaving out the daughter. Bro, the things that the daughter said during his court hearing, no father should hear that from a daughter. You came to me because my brother violated you. I went through what I went through. I had to sell my soul to the devil just to be able to give you a proper life, give you all the things you desire, and to prevent you, to shield you from the abuse. I don't want you to date a man because you're hungry. I want you to be with a man because you are in love with the man. And during my court hearing, what do? You betray me. Now, this film will give you betrayal. Like I said, we have to, it portrays the struggles of men, especially. This is the what men would go through just to be able to put food on the table. And women most times do not mind what their husbands have to do. All they care about is the aftermath, which is the success. And equally shows nobody cares about your suffering, baby. Nobody wants to hear your they just want you to be successful. And when you're successful, they will celebrate you. But mind you, the day you get into trouble, they will forget about all the good things that people did for you, or the things that you did for them. In a nutshell, guys, go and check this film out. There are just a whole lot of lessons to learn. I don't want to spoil it any further. I know I have, but you will not regret it. I'm telling you this. The take-home message is this. Nobody on earth is worth sacrificing for. Yourself first. Your comfort first before any other person. Are you getting me? Men, women, let me talk to you first. Women, we have to appreciate this man. It's true there are some irresponsible men out there who don't want to work, they don't want to cater for their family. This video is not for them. This video is for the men, for the fathers and the husbands who do everything to put food on the table. We have to appreciate them more. We have to celebrate them more. Buy them gifts. Listen to them more. You understand? Stop accusing them all the time. Enough with the pressure. Enough with the accusations. Enough with the bullying. Enough with the abuse. Because men go through abuse. If he went through an abusive relationship, he did all of that just to provide for the wife. Who ended up cheating on him? The wife. Who became an alcoholic? The wife. Who became an absentee mother? The wife. And to think she was not even working. She was a full-time housewife, yet she could not ensure the safety and the security of her children. But who did she put the blame on? The husband. And women, married women especially, now you know why your husband constantly goes out. Now you know why your husband would rather settle for a peasant girl than you, the sophisticated wife. Men want comfort. Men want appreciation. Appreciate them for the smallest things that they do, and they'll be motivated to do more for you. Anyways, guys, so this is To Kill a Monkey. Once again, shout out to Kemi Adetiba. Beautiful. I love it. Well executed. And of course, to all the actors in the film. I learned a whole lot, you know. And I want to hear your take in the comment section. Have you watched the film yet? What's your review? What's your take? I rate this movie a 7 on 10. Now, here's my take. Here's my reason. I rate this movie a 7 on 10. Number one, um, you exaggerated Ife's suffering. I mean, there was no need for you to have dragged it to that point. We've understood he's going through this and that, patati, patati, patata, straight to the point. What happens after that? It took so much time. The dramatic tension was long overdue. I got tired. Number two, in terms of the aesthetic, right? When you look at teacher's makeup, who is Chidi Mukeme rather, it was not properly done. It was not well blended. You could really tell that this is fake. You're meant to make me believe that indeed it's bald, you get, but you could not, you failed to showcase that. And my third reason why I rated this movie, or I'm rating this movie a 7 on 10, is because of the whole plot. At some point, I think you missed, maybe this is it. The first 3 episodes, amazing. The tension, bro. When he joined, if he finally gave up on legit business, right? I said, okay, I'm joining Obos's business. I was expecting more action, for example, right? And you were not giving me that. There was never a time they went to the office, they're planning. You understand? You're just in the money coming in. You're not giving me more. That time it took you to explain the sufferings of if it were one, which was the same storyline, the same. I understand the same outcome. Yeah, you would have taken it to develop the business part of it. I didn't see that. Now, in terms of the tension, fine. Now, when assassination attempt on Ife's children, right? When he failed woefully, I'm expecting more. If it's like I'm going to do, if we let us settle this man, or boss said we're not settling, you are not settling, we're not paying no taxes and stuff, right? After that, it's more of a love story. Now, Miss Sparkle comes saying they are just going from one dinner day to another, just going to the club. There's absolutely nothing. That is from the episode 4 to the episode 5, I think. And I was bored, but I had to watch because I needed to review the film. So there was nothing there. You missed it. Give me more of telenovelas. Nobody wants to see that. It's an action film. Give me more. I understand you want to build, the fact that, okay, she was a spy, she was planted in his life, but you would have fast forwarded that part. Number 2. Yeah? And they're still talking about it. Now, there was no more action from teacher. Now, you're making me understand that teacher, is like the Ogak Pate of them all, right? But I was hoping maybe for a flashback where you get to see the relationship between teacher and Obos, maybe how they come way back. You get to see teachers' operations. There was absolutely nothing. This man just appeared from nowhere and is asking for taxes to be paid. He would have given us just a little bit so to know, their journey and how it all started. I didn't see that. The storyline was a bit overstretched, overly stretched. It became boring. It became more of, you're showing more of if it's love interest, going on dates, and we didn't want to see that. We needed the action. And then the action comes in where if his mother-in-law gets stabbed in the market, she dies, she's rushed to the hospital. Boom, there's action. I want to see more. You see, now, if it's rushing to the hospital, teacher sends assassins. Teacher sends assassins to go, finish the job. And after that, it becomes very slow again. It's more about Nusa being an alcoholic, Nusa having an affair with the doctor, Nusa constantly, like nagging and sending the husband out of the house. And I got tired. I got bored. There was nothing to be seen. I feel like you lost some inspiration right there. You see, maybe because in your quest to take it to 8 episodes, that's why you had to. There was a lot of unnecessary scenes. You were losing viewers at that point. You were losing all the ratings. You see, and then now we get now to the final season, the final episode 8. Okay, what's that? Beautiful story, amazing delivery. Sometimes just cut to the chase. Bang! Hit nail on the head. Not a drag us round and round like generator. It becomes boring. Now, if person don't get patience, you'll not want to. You see. Anyways, overall, a beautiful movie. Well done. It's a job well done. Congratulations to Kemi, Adetiba, and all the cast and crew. I love it. Let me hear take in the comment section. I am Chama Ayomide Dalilionga. Bye.